Well, welcome to a special segment of In Their Boots, as we have an extended interview with Army widow Tara Fuerst. Tara, thanks for being a part of the show today. Welcome to a special segment of In Their Boots.
Thank you for having me.
Being as young as you are, what do you find are people's typical reactions to a widow at your age?
I think that when I first meet somebody who doesn't know I'm a widow, and they hear it for the first time, their initial reaction is they just kind of stare at you like, are you serious?
Yeah.
And you know, they don't know what to say, and they really don't say much afterwards. So
what do you what advice would you offer someone upon meeting a widow? I mean, what is appropriate to say?
I don't know. Maybe ask a question about their husband.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it kind of depends too on how far out you are, if you can talk about it or not.
Yeah.
You know, you may not want to talk about it at all, or I know in my case I didn't want to talk about it in the beginning.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, I haven't wanted to talk about it for 2 years.
Yeah.
So.
How has this experience changed you?
Like I said, I haven't talked to anybody about what happened, you know, for 2 years, other than really close friends who were in Afghanistan with us, a couple family members, but other than that, I mean, finding the American Widow Project has helped me to grow as a person. I've been able to share my story and talk, even though it's taken me, you know, 2 times after meeting these widows to really open up, and every time I'm with them I open up a lot more and I feel a lot more comfortable, a lot more accepted, and it gets easier to talk about Joe.
Yeah. What was your biggest surprise upon meeting the other women from the American Widow Project? I'm sorry.
The biggest surprise is hearing their stories. Everybody's story is different, and how they were notified. You know, you always think that you're alone in it. So when you hear somebody else's story, it's always like, wow, that happened to you. Oh my God, you know?
Yeah.
And then it's like, you have a story like that too.
Yeah.
And it's just really neat to be able to connect with other women who ultimately are in the same position that you are, no matter how it happened.
Yeah. And from those commonalities and the vast difference in experiences, what have you taken away from the group you think that's more valuable than anything else?
I've learned how to be myself a little bit more. I'm, you know, not completely the way I was before it happened, but I've learned to be able to share my story, to talk, and to smile, to laugh, and I wasn't doing much of that before. I was kind of, you know, introverted, and meeting these widows, you know, has helped me a lot more than anything else has.
Yeah. Now the work that you do, what's kind of unique about yourself, Tara? You're actually a service member yourself, or had done time in the National Guard. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if this is a reachable topic, but the work that you do now on a regular basis, can you talk about what that is and some of the hardships that you deal with on a regular basis?
I work closely with soldiers, so it's hard to differentiate myself as a civilian.
Yeah.
You know, sitting next to a soldier, I feel like I'm still a soldier.
Yeah.
But in the same token, I like that environment and I thrive in it, and I like who I work with. I love the soldiers, and I think they're all working really hard.
Good. It's kind of somewhat of a therapeutic environment, you think?
Yeah, and you know, it's taken me a while to get back to work, but since, you know, coming into the American Widow Project, it's helped me in my job, and you know, actually going out and motivating myself.
Now I know that's, from talking to the other widows, it's kind of a common theme that when you come into the project, it almost redefines what it means to be a widow. Can you talk about that?
Well, you're proud to be a widow. I mean, you're always proud, but you're scared to talk about it. And, you know, people don't really want to hear about it. So, yeah, it just makes it a lot easier and makes being a widow not something that's looked down upon, but something that you can embrace and share with the world so they understand, and, you know, meet another widow so they feel, you know, more accepted and less alone.
So it kind of definitely clears the air.
Yeah.
If there's any one thing that you want people to take away from your story, Tara, what is it?
I want the people to always remember the sacrifice that the soldier makes. And not only that, but remember that the sacrifice they make trickles down to the family, and they also pay the ultimate sacrifice in losing their son, their brother, their sister, their spouse. You know, it affects everybody, and I think that it's something to pay attention to and to realize, and to not just, you know, shove it under the carpet.
Yeah. I want to thank you, Tara, for your service in uniform and the sacrifices that you were called to make.
Thank you.
And thanks for being a part of the show today and sharing your story with others so that maybe a better understanding.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tara.